Hello friends, welcome back. Another episode of BigDenoPlays. We are on Lantern Year 4. We're about to face off against the Butcher. Finally something I'm familiar with. Sort of. Because we've got an interesting conundrum, which is the Scout. So from what I can read of the Scout rules, it is optional whether you take a Scout with you. Now, the downside of taking a Scout is that if everyone dies, the Scout has the option to run away, and you then have to potentially lose your gear. But if you don't take a Scout, I think you're potentially harming yourself in the long run because it's a survivor that gets an extra XP, etc. Speaking of XP, if we go over here and have a look at our, you can nip back up, have a look at our survivors, our alive survivors. We have 11, we need a few more females. There's something I neglected to do with Regulus, who did go out on his second hunt as a Scout, and that is to draw a philosophy. Because he has reached XP2, so he draws a philosophy. There are 4 philosophies in the deck right now, and he's going to draw Dreamism. Regulus. Let's find the Dreamism one, shall we? Dreamism. All right. Philosophy. Dreamism. Tenet is Guardian. You cannot gain survival during the hunt or showdown. Interesting. You'd have to think that would include arrival as well, wouldn't you? Who or what is the Dreamkeeper? Guardian. Let's have a look at Guardian, shall we? Dreamism. I will say, so far, I'm absolutely loving the philosophy's concept. It's taking a little bit of time for me to wrap my head around what it means. The tenet that we have is Guardian, and how that interacts, but we're getting there. Yeah. You can re-roll. Huh. Okay, so I'm going to put that one into our knowledge deck. We do have to then move across, so I'll just remove our philosophies. Great. And then we'll whip out our knowledge deck, so you can see we've got quite a few now. Did we upgrade to tenacity 2? No, we didn't. Oh no, we did upgrade to tenacity 2. Great. Severus is gone. He is unavailable. He has been exiled. How do we exile someone? Dead. Confirm. None. Okay. So we do have tenacity 2. We do have Desperate Sprite 2, Fear 2, Darkness 1, Guardian 1. Cool. Learning about how these knowledges are all sort of operating and working is more complex than fighting arts. It's fair to say. But it's exciting. It's really exciting to have, a shit ton of new content to be able to deep dive into. So that's our knowledge deck. That's exciting. I'm just going to double check that scribe aligns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 knowledges in our deck. Philosophies. Yeah, so that's good. Tenacity 2, Desperate Strike 2, Despair 2. Good. All sorts of good stuff there. So we're down to 10 survivors. So we'll want to look to get some new survivors at some point soon. But while we do that, let's do Regulus's. If you ponder dreamism, if you have a gaming gazebo. Yeah. Gain 1 Lumi and roll 1d10. Let's go, Regulus. He rolls a 2. Okay, a 2. A 2 is gain an observation in your tenant knowledge. Now, this is an interesting example here. This little thing is for if you have a collective cognition of 4. Now, we're actually at 3, so we're not far off that. It's a shame we didn't, well, yeah. When we would have rolled this, we wouldn't have been there anyway. So, but what it says is gain an observation in your tenant knowledge. So Guardian moves up to there. And we would have gained an understanding, but we did not. So, we are going to bring Regulus as our departing survivor. And he's going to be the scout. And boot, we will give him the scout. We now have a scout's lantern. And I'm going to talk about the scout's lantern because I'm extremely enthusiastic about it. We have a stone-faced cloak. That's done. So if we nip over here, Dreamism, very cool. I did a little bit of organising the other day now that I'm starting to understand how things are supposed to work. So I feel a little bit more confident that I know how to access everything that I need. But yeah, so this survivor, Lucius, 0 XP. Lucius is going to have the Crimson Armour. We're actually going to trash these bandages from him. And I'll explain why in a second. But I haven't been playing that right either. There's shit I needed to do in there that I wasn't doing. So that's been going well. Molly, however, she has got Founding Stone, Bone Blade, and we're going to give her the bandages. She wants to be able to tap Lucius after he's done his thing. We've got Ginny. She's going to hit XP2 as well. She's gone for our Bloodglass Dagger, Bone Blade, Skull Helm, Clothed and Satiated set. She's actually supposed to gain 4 Insanity. No, she's not. Actually, it's interesting. Duplicate items aren't supposed to provide any additional benefit. Maybe I can't do that with the bloody cloth. All right. In my head, I was thinking, yeah, you could just wrap yourself in cloth. That'd be awesome. Doesn't work like that, Deno. So we're not going to be able to get Clothed and Satiated either, because we only have 2 pieces of armour. We gain an Insanity. We have Stone Noses. George, he's got a Rawhide set. We've given him a Spear of Life. I feel confident about that I know what's going on there, fortunately. We'll give you a bloody cloth as well. So you're going to depart with an Insanity. Perfect. You are going to depart with no Insanity at this point, but you do actually get Insanity from the Croc set when you depart. Regulus, give him a bloody cloth. Okay. I think we're good to go. So we're going to hunt the butcher. We're going to fight the butcher. He's hunting us. One stone column, one random terrain card. So we'll get our random terrain card from this box here, which is our settlements terrain deck. And cut. And we get a blood pool. Interesting. Set up at least 3 spaces from all board edges. That's okay. Can do with some extra insanity on people maybe. Survivors go first in this fight. We have 7 and 5, so step over here. So these are the basics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Boom. And we have the advanced. We get 5. Boom. Hit location deck, which needs to be shuffled every turn. Done. Blood pool, done. I'm not going to worry about setting up those stupid things because they don't matter in the slightest. We set up on anywhere on our board edge, anywhere we want. And the butcher draws 2 AI cards in the first turn. So what I need to do now is determine, first of all, which of our knowledges we're going to be able to get. There is literally no knowledges or philosophies at this point other than this one. So after an adjacent survivor makes a roll, you may intervene, gain 1 systemic pressure token, and re-roll one of their roll results. When you use this knowledge, gain 1. Okay. Good. All right, we're going to depart. Boom. And we're going to show off now the Crimson Croc armor sets. So it's when you depart, you gain monster level insanity. So Lucius gains 1 insanity because it's a monster level 1. And you also have a couple of other things that you have to do. So the first is when you depart, gain a bleeding token. It requires an additional bleeding token to kill you. I don't know any way to adjust that in Scribe, so I'm just going to have to remember that. And when you depart, gain a bleeding token and add 1 to the arm's hit location. So that's from the Crimson Guard. Great. Now, in the Manage Departing Survivors section, we will apply arrival bonuses, which has given us plenty of survival and insanity across the board. All right, so lastly, I'll just make sure everyone else is good. Yep. Awesome. So this guy, he has a tendency to move forward, so we just need to be 10 spaces away from him. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll just do this, and all of a sudden we're okay. Easy. The person we want to get hit in this fight is this guy. He's a crocodile armor, so we want him to get bleed. Now sometimes this plan doesn't work. We let him come to us and then we wail at him for a whole turn, but let's see how we go. So, we've done our setup. We've got the monster blood pool there, so we're going to draw our first AI card, and it is Infinite Kick. It's ruined my plan. Closest threat in facing. So we move and attack the target. And then he draws an AI. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Draws an AI. Backhand. All survivors in the impact zone. If there's no target, he does a menace. So menace is the butcher's instinct. And his instinct is turn the butcher to face the closest survivor. This survivor suffers 1 brain damage per monster level. That is Lucius. He suffers 1 brain damage. Boom. That is it for the butcher's instinct. And now he draws his second AI card for the turn, thanks to Berserker, which is the closest threat in facing. And so he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he's unable to get there. Unlucky Butcherino. All survivors adjacent to the monster suffer 1 damage to a random hit location and gain 1 bleeding token. Done, done, done. Infinite kick being in the pile is not good for me. Okay. So, at this point, we could use the Crimson Armor's ability, which is a once per showdown, which is gain armor to your hit locations equal to your number of bleeding tokens. And so we will actually do that right now. So that's our action, but we get 2 armor at all of our hit locations. He's then going to move into the front. So he's our main target of attack. Now we will use Severus. It's not Severus, sorry, it's someone else in this fight. It's George Weasley. So he's going to use his rawhide set, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to move to there. Nothing to do with the rawhide, he's just got it. And he's going to wield the Spear of Life. And he's going to fight with the Spear of Life in the Butcher's rear. He hits on 6+, which goes down to 5+. So he cocked dice there. Oh, went in 10 would be nice. A 7 and a 3. So he's got 1 hit. Hit location is the trap. We love that. We love starting with the trap. All survivors in the zone of malice gain 1 bleeding token and suffer knockback 5. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perform basic action, targeting the attacker. What a joker this guy is. Cut, boom. Basic action, targeting the attacker. The attacker's doomed. Can't do anything about that. George, my man. The basic action, I believe, is 2 speed, hitting on a 4+. It is 2 speed, hitting on a 4+. The 4 goes to a 6. So, unfortunately, he's taking 1 damage. It is to the body. And gain a bleed token as a result of that. That's pretty much all we got going on this turn. The scout, going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This chick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, into the blood pool. Who is that? It's Ginny. She's going to try and get some insanity. A 1, she gains hemophobia. I love that. Whenever a survivor, including you, gains a bleeding token, you are knocked down. It's wonderful in this fight to have hemophobia. It really is. It's a great time. Finally, Molly, she's going to spend a survival to dash. No, she won't do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's our turn. It was wonderful. We enjoyed every part of it. AI card. Bite, the closest threat in facing. It is, of course, George Weasley. An 8 and a 5. The 5 is a miss. The 8 is a hit. We will spend a survival to dodge the 8. And we will see if we gain that survival back from our rawhide set. We do. So that is ignored. Nothing happens. There is no random severe injury. Another AI card. Closest threat in facing. Target is doomed. 2 on a 6+. We need to miss both of these or we're in trouble. 2 on an 8. 1 damage to the waist. And he's going to lose 3 accuracy tokens and lose all survival. His lantern is gone. George, what are you doing to us, my man? Okay. Let's try again. I'm not going to shuffle the hit location deck because we didn't do anything with the hit location deck. Here is the Butcher, the absolute peanut. I'm going to do her first of all. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's going to use her bandages to remove bleeding tokens from Lucius. I think he should have had 3. So, because you gain that. Cool. That's her entire turn. Next we'll do him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So he'll go to here by dashing. And he'll swing with the spinning sword. It's 2 dice, hitting on a 6. 1 perfect hit. He doesn't have anything for perfect hits, I don't believe. And this time it's the Furious Gauntlet. Now the Butcher is toughness, shit I can't remember, is he 10? 9. We have strength 3 on the spinning sword, strength 4 on the survivor. So we're looking for a 5 to wound here. That's a 3, we fail to wound. Turn to face the attacker and intimidate. So the intimidate is on a 5+. Yep, suffer 1 brain damage per monster level. Wonderful. Furious Gauntlet gone. Lucius with the Spear of Life in the rear. He'll try again. He hits once. It's a Furious Bellow. See what he rolls. He rolls a 4, but that is good enough because he has the Spear of Life, which is strength 4 plus his innate 1. George has, yes, innate 1. Oh, accuracy is -3. I rolled a 10, a perfect hit, so that counts. We do a wound, and then the Butcher unleashes his reflex. Unless the attacker is deaf or has 3+ courage, they suffer brain damage equal to the monster level and is knocked down. Good one, George. You're knocked down, buddy. But you did a wound, which is a good start. And she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. She's going to swing with the Bloodglass Dagger. It's 3 on a 6. She only hits once. Probably okay, Ginny. As long as it's not the... +2 toughness to wound this location. So he's effectively 11 with 3, which goes down to 8, 4, so 7. So we need a 7. That's a 3, so we fail. The last we have is the Scout, and by golly, the Scout's going to go. It's going to go to there. Going to swing with this Grimjaw. He needs 6s. He's got 1 hit. Don't be the trap, you dog. The Cleaver, it's impervious. Gain an insanity. Of course it's impervious. That's the end of our turn. We shuffle the monster's hit location deck. The next thing that happens boom, is the monster draws an AI card. And he draws, hack, the closest threat in facing. We will of course choose the dude, Lucius, who has armor to burn. It's 2 on a 4. He hits once or twice. Now, do we use Regulus's ability here? So, after an adjacent survivor makes a roll, you may intervene. No, so this isn't him making a roll. Cool, so the 2 hit locations is the hand in the hand. Lucius takes 2 damage to the hands and he gains a bleeding token. He's fine on that front. The next AI card is Forbidden Light. It's a mood. When it comes into play, we draw an AI card. Screaming. All non-death survivors suffer 1 brain damage per monster level. Let's just have a look here. 0 insanity on George. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. And he's just going to mark that box. He's going to mark that box. At the start of the Butcher's turn, discard Screaming if a survivor dies. That doesn't say draw an AI card, so that's the end of his turn. Well, we need to get cracking now because that's terrible stuff. Okay, when you end your act in the light radius, you gain a -1 strength token. Okay, I'm going to start with Lucius, and he's going to swing with the Spear of Life. He hits twice on a 6+. So he rolls a 6 and a 2. Now at this point, I'm going to use the ability of Guardian on Regulus. After an adjacent survivor makes a roll, you may intervene, gain a systemic pressure token. Yep. Is there a temporary one of those? No. And you can re-roll. So he's going to re-roll that. So he now hits twice. Watch as I draw the trap. The Furious Scrag and the Cleaver. Okay, good. He gains an insanity from the Cleaver. Can't do anything about it. And the death blow is an 8, which is a wound. It's not a critical though. He's then going to move out of the Lantern Light to there. The Scout will go with Grimjaw. Does not hit. Will move. Well, he'll actually move to there. So she can go and clear the 2 bleeding tokens from him. Boom, boom. Scout's done. She will swing with the Bloodglass Dagger. And she hits once. Of course, it's the super dense location, the single super dense location in there. With the Bloodglass Dagger, it's a 5. That's enough to do a wound. This Bloodglass Dagger loses its honed edge. She's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He stands up. He's got many, many minus accuracy tokens, but he is in the rear with the spinning sword. Let's see what he can roll with the spinning sword. 7 is not enough. A Lantern 10 is enough. A perfect hit is absolutely enough. A reflex, great. 3, 8 is enough to wound. Boom. Reflex, all adjacent survivors suffer bash. Full move towards the furthest survivor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, like so. And he's knocked down again. Now, we do need to upgrade Guardian because we did achieve that. Oh, after a survivor in your field of view makes a roll. Wow, that's awesome. So I wonder if that's a different knowledge card so you can gain a different observation. Guardian 2. Could be, could be. Awesome. That's the end of our turn. It's the monster's AI card. We are going to shuffle the AI deck. Hope we don't see an infinite kick. The start of the monster's turn. I just remembered everyone was supposed to gain screaming from the brain damage that they just took. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he was also intimidated. So he takes an extra 1, which means he's going to now suffer frenzy. And everyone else has got 2. So he suffers frenzy, which I'll just double check. Brain trauma, frenzy, gain 1d5 insanity. 1, 2. 1 speed token. 1 strength token. You may not spend survival. Lasts until the end of the showdown. And now everyone will take a brain damage. So Molly is going to fill in her box. Everyone else is fine. And George has a brain trauma roll. Come on, George. It's a 3. Memory loss. Lose 2 levels of weapon proficiency. Will do. Thanks. Okay, so we draw an AI card. And at the end of each monster turn, place a token on Forbidden Light. So we've got 2 tokens on Forbidden Light so far. Wild Carve. Closest threat in facing. It's the Scout. Ooh. Yep. It's just 2 on a 4. Double 9s. Where does it hit? The Scout gets hit in the hand and the waist. Does 1 damage and 1 damage. And gain a bleeding token. All survivors adjacent to the monster suffer 1 damage to a random hit location and gain a bleeding token. That's awful. I could dash away, but well, he can't. Random hit location, take it to the boots. Random hit location, take it to the body. Molly is adjacent. Random hit location is the boots. Bleed token. And Ginny, random hit location is the hand. Bleeding token. Don't be infinite kick, says Deno. Infinite kick. Fuck this game, I tell you what. It's just straight up and down. You know what it's going to be every time. The closest threat in facing, it's the Scout again. Two on a 4. 2 hits. Body, body. Body, body. Suffers knockback 5 and gains the priority target token. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gains the priority target token. That means he's getting attacked again. All survivors in the impact zone. So is this one that we dodge away from? Well, Lucius can't, so he has to see if he can avoid the attack. Roll a 4. It's a 2. He avoids the attack, so no after damage effects. Molly, she can dash away. Or she can just, yeah, she won't dash away actually, she'll just dodge the attack. Because she still has brain trauma. She successfully dodges the attack spending a survival. And Ginny is also hit, so she'll spend a survival to dodge. And that is all he wrote. So, frenzied on our friend. So we're going to do frenzy. We're going to attack with the spinning sword. First we're going to shuffle these cards. I wonder if we can kill him this turn. No, probably not. Yep, we'll do the frenzy guy. Spinning sword. He lost his lantern, is that right? No. 0 hits, he'll then move away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 5 to there. Molly. Everyone's about to be frenzied now. Bone Blade. Hits neither. Move away. Scout. Moves to there and is going to use the Stone Face Cloak and hide. Don't know what it does, but it sounds fun. She's going to swing with her Bone Blade. She hits twice. Furious Gauntlet and the Furious Crown. So we'll do the Furious Gauntlet first. It's a wound. And here, that's also a wound. Reflex, she suffers bash. Full move towards the furthest survivor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. So it's here. He stands up. That's it on that front. So he's just going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's going to drink in the blood pool. We'll go in the centre, sorry, so he can't fail. He gains an insanity. And that is the end of the survivor turn. So start of the monster turn, we add another token to screaming. Everyone takes a insanity. George takes 1. He's now frenzied. He gains 1d5 insanity. Gains 4. Speed token, strength token. Ginny, she takes 1. She's now frenzied. She gains 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. She gains a strength token. She gains a speed token. Molly, she's going to roll on the brain trauma. First of all, 1, she'll use a lifetime reroll because I believe she is dead. Yep, lifetime reroll for Molly. She rolls a 2. Molly's dead. And yep, so she doesn't have to be frenzied. And Lucius just takes 1. He's already frenzied. So that is the infectious lunacy. Oh, and the scout, I suppose. The scout's also got to do it, hasn't he? Gains 1, 1d5, 5, strength token, speed token. That's the end of the screaming. Now, it is discarded because its survivor has died. And that's the forbidden light. I need to put the token on. Very good. And she's dead. Now I'm going to grab that terrain card out now and have a look at the stone face tile. Because I don't actually know what that does. how it works. You're basically sitting on it, I think. Have a look. Hidden face, there we go. So I can swap places. You are knocked down. Impassable and destructible. Well, cool. So there's actually a token that we put out on the board. That's fun. Just going to use this for the moment. So let's say she's there. She's there. And we can swap places with it. Oh, it's at the start of your act. Okay, so she would be here. Fine. So the Butcher's AI card now. And he draws Bite, the closest threat in facing, the closest threat. The only person that is in threat is George. I would love to dash away with George, but he can't because he's got no survival to spend, even though he's got a rawhide set. Ridiculous. So George has to be the target because he is closer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Fuck that up. That's all right. Come on, Georgie boy. Double 7. No damage. Suffer 1 random severe head injury. And it is a 3, which is a head explosion. George will use his lifetime reroll. And he will reroll and get another 3. George is also dead. Scout might be using his thing at this point. That's it. We now shuffle. And we draw Screaming. All non-death survivors suffer 1 damage per monster level. Suffer 1 brain damage. Suffer 1 brain damage. Suffer 1 brain damage. 1 and 1. It's good. It's good times. She stands up. I think we're going to need to bring the scout into fight now. End of each monster turn, put a token on Forbidden Light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, into the rear, swinging with the spinning sword. I think that's 2 hits. We'll shuffle the hit location deck. Done. 1, 2 hits. He doesn't have any accuracy debuffs, does he, Lucius? No, he's fine. Spinning sword is strength 3, plus 2 is 5. So that is 9, so he needs 4s. Furious Bellow. The Furious Crown. We'll do this one. So the attacker is deaf or has 3 courage. He does not. One of these is getting wounded, we hope. 7, it's a wound. And he suffers brain damage equal to the monster level. Actually, this one's better. Yeah. All survivors adjacent to the butcher suffer bash. Move towards the furthest survivor. He's knocked down. Moves to there. He doesn't suffer the -1 penalty for the thing. She's going to swing. She's only got a bone blade, but she is frenzied. So she, should she move to the rear? Doesn't matter. She hits once. Armoured Pig Shoulder. Her bone blade is now shattered and destroyed. Does she wound the location? She does. It's a 9. And the Scout, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Scout will appear and will move into the rear and have a swing with the Grimjaw. That's 2 hits. This is pretty big. One, of course, it's an impervious cleaver. Regulus gain the insanity. And anything buts for the wounds, it's a 4, so that's a wound. We have 1 card left. If it is infinite kick, we have just lost another survivor. It's our turn. Sorry, it's the monster's turn. Screaming comes into play. So Regulus suffers an insanity, which takes him to 5. Lucius suffers a brain trauma. 6 is danger seizure. Gain a random disorder and 1d5 insanity. He gains 3 insanity. 1, 2, 3. That is also enough to trigger frenzy. So he gains another 5. Gains another strength token. Gains another speed token. And he gains a random disorder. Just grab one out. Fear of the dark. It's good times, this fight. Disorder. Fear of the dark. Okay. Okay. Looks like we're going to be raw dogging some baby making rolls, I think. Perfect. That was him. Ginny takes 1 brain damage. She goes to 2 tokens. And that's the end of that. So now we draw this. It's backhand. All survivors in the impact zone. It's just Ginny. So Ginny will spend a survival to dash. She'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now there's no survivors in the impact zone, so he menaces. Menace is the butcher. Turn the butcher to face the closest survivor. Oh, no, she can't because she's frenzied. Boo, 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 boo. So he's going to attack her. 1 and a 4+. It hits. Just. She takes 2 damage to the hands. Ginny is knocked down. She has a severe injury roll. She rolls an 8 on the hands. Is a spiral fracture. Your arm twists unnaturally. Wonder if that appears here. Yes. Skip the next hunt. Gain 2 strength tokens. Gain 1 bleeding token. She's knocked down. She's knocked back 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, there's no survivors in the impact zone, so he does menace. And he turns to face the closest survivor, which is her, or him rather. Regulus takes 1 insanity, which triggers frenzy. Gains 1 insanity. Gains a strength token and a speed token. It's our turn. He's going to stand up. So, I need to do 2 wounds. We need to shuffle this. Oh no, Forbidden Light is now discarded because it gained a token at the end of the turn. So, Forbidden Light, so we need to do 3 wounds. Scout, move into the rear. Frenzy, +2 speed. So we're hitting on 5s. 1 hit. +2 toughness to wound this location. That should be fine. He rolls a 1. Very good. This guy, 1, 2. We definitely need to do a wound here. Spear of Life. Spinning Sword, I should say. 3 hits, including a perfect hit. Don't trap me. Oh, impervious. You fucking double impervious. That's annoying. Don't think we're critical. Fine. Okay. So we did the Forbidden Light wound, which is good. Okay. So, it's our turn. He's going to do a backhand. Sorry, it's his turn. Should we discard Screaming? No, no one's died since that. So everyone suffers a brain damage. 1, 2, 3. All survivors in the impact zone. It is the one that's got plenty of armor, Lucius. So can he hit Lucius? He can. Lucius can't dodge. Suffers knockback 5 and bash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knock down. And 2 damage to wherever. Doesn't matter. And then going to turn to Intimidate for the second card because it's the same card. Menace. 1 brain damage to Regulus. Regulus moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please, dear Regulus, use your Grimjaw. 2 hits. I just need to shuffle this, not get a trap, get 2 woundable locations, and we're good. There's a woundable location. Come on. Yeah. No. We'll use this one, the Furious Crown, with a reflex. That's a wound. The backhand is gone. Suffers bash and knockback. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Moves towards the furthest survivor. We're going to move towards her because she is also the furthest survivor. And she is going to swing with Fist and Tooth. And she has fuck all chance. She's got a Bloodglass Dagger actually. She'll swing with her Bloodglass Dagger. She is actually also extra one of these, extra one of these, and extra Insanity. The Bloodglass Dagger hits twice. We just need to do 1 wound. Oh my god, the death blow. We're not very likely to wound this, but I'll tell you right now, we fucking deserve it because this has been an absolute shit fight. So we're going to try and wound it first. There's no downside to doing that. Okay. Coughing fit. The Bloodglass Dagger is down to 0 strength. So we're just our innate strength. It's 8, which is toughness 9. We need an 8. We're going for the death blow. Come on. Oh. The other one wounds. Death blow. Oh. We survived. Barely. Man, could you imagine if we got the death blow? Oh. You know what I think I'm going to do? And I think I'm actually allowed to do this. So Guardian 2 is a different knowledge card. It says gain 1 systemic pressure token and reroll one of their roll results, limit once per showdown. When you use this knowledge, gain a thing. And you can do that when someone is in your field of view. So Regulus would gain a systemic pressure token, fine. the showdown's over, we'll re-roll into that 10 and we'll take the death blow. It's also a crit, which means she can gain the Mighty Strike Fighting Art. Ginny, you got it done, you legend. Okay, so death blow. Each survivor may select one permanent evasion or one permanent accuracy. Ginny will take one permanent evasion. Lucius will take one permanent evasion. And Regulus will take one permanent evasion. Add 2 to your roll result from the Butcher's roll rewards in the Aftermath. So our Aftermath roll is over here. We add 1d10 and add the Butcher's level. We've rolled a 3, so we add +1 and then additional +2, so we get a 6. 1d5 broken lantern resources. 5 broken lantern resources. Thanks, buddy. It's really helpful. I didn't want a Butcher's Cleaver. Any victorious survivor may immediately select Axe Weapon Proficiency, regardless of age milestones. Wonder how that works. I'm not sure. Number of things to do. Ginny got a Fighting Art, so we're going to do Vaultless. New story event, Vaultless. Somewhere in here. Missing statue, no. Showdowns, no. The awaited, no. Vaultless, here we go. So we can try and press through. We can gain the Fighting Art on an 8+, but we can also gain a Systemic Torment and Systemic Pressure and a Torment. We'll go for it. We'll press through. So she's going to roll on the press through table. So she gains 1 systemic pressure and 7. Oh, it's so close. So she doesn't get anything. She doesn't get the Fighting Art. Okay. So many bad things happened in that fight, but we survived, and that is the most important thing. Manage departing survivors. Everyone gains a Hunt XP. We return from Showdown and we advance the year. So we'll lose Ginny's Spiral Fracture. She's done. Hemophobia and Phobophobia, awful. Lucius has got Fear of the Dark. He can't go anywhere. Regulus has got Guardian 2, and he used it, so we're going to gain a progress. And it's all wonderful. So Ginny is going to get to whip out a philosophy in a second. Let's just check the timeline. We have a story event, Stained. Let's do that first. And then we'll whip a settlement event. Stained. Ooh, if the settlement does not already have it, they gain the Face Painting Innovation. Wonderful. That's a huge benefit. And our collective cognition is 5, which is good. Because we just defeated the Butcher. So let's actually double check that. So it's something I wasn't 100% sure on. So collective cognition is under here. Okay. Gains collective cognition rewards. No. Gaining quarry from nemesis monsters. They contribute only the first time each level is defeated. Collective cognition. In the aftermath of the showdown. Okay, cool. So we do actually have 5 collective cognition. So I'll just do that now. 1, 2, 3. So we've got Crimson Crocodile Cuisine. And we've also got something else. So we've got this one, and we've got this one. Oh, it's all happening. Okay, we don't go in those yet, or we do get that in a second. So if our cognition is 5 or higher, a suspicious survivor is repulsed by the acrid smell. Nominate a survivor. Oh. Proceed to the 9+ result. So nominate a survivor to linger behind. They gain +3 Lumi and the knowledge card serial code. Well, let's go with, fucking hell. Let's go with Fleur. So she gains 3 Lumi, 1, 2, 3, and she gains 1 evasion. And she gains the knowledge card serial code. That's from Dreamism. Cool. We are inked by the Dreamkeeper. So that's stained. Okay, now we need to draw a settlement event. And this is one of the great joys I now have in my life. Because of this wonderful Scout's Lantern, when you return to the settlement, you may draw 2 settlement events and pick one to keep. Oh. So unless you draw Plague and Murder, you just can't go wrong really, can you? So we'll take this one. Cracks in the Ground. I think we're unlikely to be taking Cracks in the Ground because the dreaded pack is heavy. Weird Dream. We'll take a Weird Dream, thanks. And I'm going to say right now that dream was well told. We had a wonderful tale. Well told. Gained 1d5 endeavours. Excellent work, everyone. We gained 4 endeavours for that well-told dream. I had a dream once where I kicked the shit out of this game, and it was wonderful. So we have returned with 3 survivors, 1, 2, 3. We had 2 dead, 1, 2, and then we gained an extra 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Plenty. Oh, and then do we have any Tinkers that returned? No. Ginny? Okay. So that's our Weird Dream. I cannot get over how good that ability is from that. It's just, and it costs 3 broken lanterns. That's it. Every single time I play with Scouts, that's just the first thing I'm going for. Every time. Weird Dream. Perfect. Okay, so we've got face painting. I need to add that to our innovations. And that is a very good time for us to get face painting. Because we're about to innovate the fuck out of this guy. Okay, so our survivor, Ginny, that just hit age 2, XP2, she's going to gain herself Facism. which is very cool. And she has physiognomy. I thought our physiognomy was 2 actually. Philosophies 2. It is 2. So she should start with 2, should she not? I think so. It's a tenant knowledge. That's good. Okay. Now, I believe that's the end of all of our story events and other events that we needed to do. So we can do these now. Comprehensive construction. Whenever a survivor gains a knowledge from the forum, they also gain 1 Lumi. So we will add the forum. It's already been added. Great, it's here. And we will add Blood Dancer Crimson Crocodile card to the knowledge deck. We do need to roll on the facism thing for age 1-2 for her. Blood Dancer. Boom. Facism. Okay, so facism is here. Don't need that anymore. So as she has leveled up on facism, she goes straight to here. She rolls a d10. She rolls a 6. Our collective cognition is not 11, so she gains Stoneheart. Stoneheart. Done. And you gain a Lumi. Okay, let's go and read about the forum, friends. This is new and exciting. Okay. So, during the settlement phase, shuffle the knowledge deck and place the 3 cards face up next to the forum. Alright. So here's our knowledge deck. We need to remove Guardian and put Guardian 2 in there. So we do that, and that goes back into Dreamism. Okay. During the settlement phase, survivors may gain 1 of these by spending the Lumi cost. We need a collective cognition of 7 to be able to use mentorship. And now with Lumi cost, and let's just flip these 3. So we've got Fear 2, don't really want that. We've got, Physiognomy, and we've got Despair 2. So I just want to check. I believe we can share Lumi costs from survivors, I believe. So let's go read about that. Gaining knowledge. Knowledge at the forum. The Lumi cost of some activities at the forum can be paid for by more than one survivor. Does it tell you which ones though? It does. It tells you multiple survivors may contribute to pay this cost. Great. So no one will be able to buy. Ginny has 2. She could buy another one. No. Unpin her. You can't depart because you got fear of the dark. Doofus. Arthur's got pacifist. We need to clear that desperately. Cedric, Fleur. Alright, so Fleur's going. Nagini's going. Cedric's going. Lucius can't ever go. Nymphodora's going. And I guess Regulus is going as well. Coolio. Does anyone have a Lumi there that they want to spend? Regulus has a Lumi. Arthur has 2 Lumis. Cedric has a Lumi. Fleur has 3 Lumi. How have you got 3 Lumi? She's buying physiognomy. If multiple survivors have the same knowledge, do we gain the benefits twice? I mean, I don't see why not. We might save hers though for a new one. Different one. Nagini has no Lumi. She has no Lumi. I don't think we'll buy any knowledge cards at the forum this year. So, it is time to have many, many, many babies, if we can do so. We have 11 endeavours. Now, an intimacy event on this is going to be very helpful because I believe we have a feast intimacy. We have a grand feast. So we're adding +1 to the arc birth roll result. And if we earned at least 1, we have a grand feast. So we can't innovate. I didn't save enough stuff. Have I got a love juice sitting there? I think I spent the love juice, didn't I? I definitely don't have a perfect hide though. No, I kept the love juice because I knew I was going to do this. That's right. Well, I didn't know I was getting face painting, but that makes my life a little bit easier. So let's just review these again. That's just to gain understanding and a seed pattern. We're going to do the founder's eye. We're going to do, that's how you get Lumi. I see. We've already built the skinnery organ grinder, etc. So we need an 8+ to do intimacy from the augury. Okay. So I'm just going to pause. I'm just going to go Google something because I remember seeing somewhere that face painting couldn't stack anymore. Stand by. Maybe I'm wrong. So we'll attempt a face painting. First of all. That's a 9, so that is a successful face painting as our first endeavour spent. And we will attempt a second face painting. Is it worth the risk, Deno? Yes. That's a failure. So we'll attempt it a third time. And that is a success. So now we will attempt. So we're +3 on intimacy events, so we cannot possibly fail, basically, because we've got 2 successes and we've also got +1 from the well-fed. So now we will attempt to roll on the organ grinder, on augury, and we have plenty of broken lanterns to trash, so we'll use someone who has understanding 1. Yep, so Arthur will go, so he's going to use augury. He rolls a 4. That was about to be a 10, which I'm annoyed about. So 4 is gain 1 survival, the worst possible result. He will roll again. A 2, so he will gain an understanding. And we lose a broken lantern. So that will trigger insight. And he will be a tinker. So the insight roll is an 8. That's a good one. That's a good one. He's also going to gain a seed pattern. HI. Insight, settlement phase, epiphany, gain +1 permanent accuracy. Boy, oh boy, we've got to clear off that pacifist. Great. We will roll again. This time we'll use Molly, I think it was. A 2, so she's going to gain an understanding. Oh, I need 2 seed pattern cards. Where did I put my seed patterns? There. 1, 2, look at them in a second. Yeah, Cedric gains an understanding, gains tinker. What does he roll? He rolls a 9. He also gains a permanent accuracy. That's pretty good for him. We'll try again, and we really like to get an intimacy off here. A 1. Come on. Nymphadora, sure. Try again. A 4, gain a survival, Nymphadora. We'll try again. A 9, we get an intimacy. We'll try again. That's a 10. We'll get an intimacy. I think we've got 1 left. A 9. So 4 intimacies in total because we're also going to use our love juice. And we trashed 3 broken lanterns. 4 intimacy rolls. Here we go. So we have +3 to these rolls. We have to choose 2. Pick the worst. So a 12. Gain 1 population. The proud parents happily curl around their newborn prodigy. Arthur and Molly No, Arthur and Ginny. That's weird. Will give birth to wonderful Ronald Weasley. We actually need a female, so we'll go, who can we go? Who's left? Hermione, she's a prodigy. Okay, so we get to choose a new ability for her. And this can either be Astute Psyche. When you make an observation about knowledge, make 2 observations instead. Discourse Savant. Whenever you roll on a table while ranking up, you may choose your result. We'll choose that one, Discourse Savant. That sounds awesome. That's awesome. All right, our second intimacy. We get a 6, which goes to a 9, which is a pair of healthy newborns. We gain 2 population. Whew. We needed this. Have we got Luna yet? Luna. Luna Lovegood. Luna. Cedric and Fleur. With the newborns, name the newborns immediately, then each gains 5, draw 5 knowledge cards. Each gains a knowledge from among those cards. We have a grand feast. That's amazing. So we'll deal ourselves 5 knowledge cards. And we're going to choose 2 from these. 1, 2, 3. Buck off with these ones. 4. Oh my God. 5. How bad is that? I got all starting ones in that draw. I think the correct choice there is Guardian because it provides us a reroll. So we will give her Guardian. And then her brother Xenophilius. It was Cedric and Fleur. He will take Despair 2. Sure. Can you search that out of interest? No. Just have to scroll. Done. So that's perfect. A next roll, a 4 and an 8, so the 4 becomes a 7. So the 7 is gain a population, the parents gain plus 10 survival, and the newborn gains a knowledge from one of their parents. So we will go with, should have determined that before, but we'll go with Ginny and Arthur again. It can be a male, this can be Fred. Arthur, Ginny, create. So Fred gains one of the knowledges that they have. So we'll give him physiognomy. I wonder if there's a way to have that just search available ones. I suppose it doesn't really work then, does it? And they both get 10 survival. Up to a max 4. Alrighty, and our last one is a 2, which goes to a 5. which is a population, and he gains 1 Lumi, another female. Already had Bellatrix, already had Minerva. We could have Narcissa. Wonderful. Gain a Lumi. Okay, I feel significantly better about our population situation now. I would have liked 1 or 2 more so we could try and tip over that principle, but we'll try for that next time. We've got face painting now, which is great. So our innovations are there. Here are the 2 patterns that we got. Fingernail Whip and Ornate Rapier. Well, maybe we'll go fight a crocodile and see if we can make this Fingernail Whip and an Ornate Rapier. Excellent, excellent. All right, I feel much better about our situation now that we've just picked up that population dramatically. I was getting nervous there. I feel like we're in pretty good shape now. I tell you what, that Grimjaw weapon is pretty damn clutch. The only question we've got to ask ourselves now is, do we risk going for a level 2 crocodile? I wonder if that's worth risking. My gut feeling is no, but what's the difference? Toughness 9. We just defeated Toughness 9. I really want the collective cognition from defeating him. We get to Communal Larder at 8. Wonder what Communal Larder does. Gain the Butchery innovation. You may remove the starting knowledges from your knowledge deck. That sounds pretty good. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Big Deno.